Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Fresh new week. It's March 29th, Monday here. And unfortunately, I am sad to report that I'm red today. And fortunately, it's not that much. But anyways, I'm down $273 on the day. And I really struggled today, but it could have been a lot worse. Had some FOMO, especially towards after hours. So let's take a look at today's trades, what I traded, and we'll go through everything. Hope you guys are enjoying. So make sure to subscribe and like if you are enjoying the content here. I do daily recaps every day I'm in the market, and show you guys my trades. And I show you my red days, which is really important because we got to learn from those. We got to get successful, and it's all about finding out where your mistakes are and trying to get better. So let's take a look at today. Let's start off with what I traded. So stock tickers, I traded UPC, CYAN, CC, which is SEAC, HGEN, and HOFV. Those are all the stocks I traded today. So starting off today, let's see. I started off on the right foot. So UPC and CYAN. UPC. On this one, I got a nice quick little trade in right as the market opened. It was a nice little trade, and I kind of missed the rest of the move there, but it was quite impressive that it pushed that high. And then I jumped over to CYAN and had a similar trade. Once again, missing kind of a huge move on it, but I got a nice little scalp trade in. But anyways, I got up to 193. Actually, sorry, there were two other trades on that. I hopped over to SEAC. Had a trade on that. Same kind of thing. And so the overall market, we were trending up in the small caps, which is great. And then one last trade on HGEN. Now, actually, I do have to preface this with, I had a position that was open. So let me show you this, because this was my fourth trade, okay? But let me show you where I really failed. Okay, so here's the big screw up. UPC. I chased this one. It was a bad move on my part. And I actually chased it in the wrong direction. Hoping to pull my strategy I've been using lately. That doesn't always work, but sometimes buying the dips on a lot of these momentum stocks. So with UPC, if we just look at the opening here, or pre-market, I mean, this thing was trending up, had a nice percentage growth on it. So this one was the one I was eyeballing, and like I told you, I did take a trade on it right out of the gates. Got a little something, small little win, but my mistake was that I started hopping in. I saw, this move up, right? And then we peaked out and it dropped hard. And I thought to myself, oh, let me go in, buy the dips on this. And then as we curl back up, I'll just, sell for the win on that. And of course, got into the that bad habit. Not too bad, but bad enough to where I purchased down in here. And then as it continued, there was a continued fall. I hopped in again just to average down a bit, just waiting for that swing up, and we never got it. Went into a halt, and I go, Jesus, I did it again. And this is my big fail. So as this thing was halted, that's when I had the next trade on HGEN. But anyways, I was down a big amount, and I did get a short little trade on HGEN, which helped me out. But anyways, I had this position open for the longest amount of time. Now, when I trade, it's typically in and out pretty quickly, mostly in seconds, sometimes holding just a few minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. They're pretty short trades. But with UPC, I ones like this, sometimes I get that bad habit of holding and averaging down, and this is definitely one I made that big mistake on, because a lot of these don't come back sometimes. They don't have their swing ups. And to just get in that bad habit of hoping that they'll correct and come back up and like retest the highs is not a good thing to be doing, because sure, it happens sometimes, but there's a lot of times like this where they just continue going downhill. And so I knew I was going to have to cut the loss at some point. And I just, I held it for a little while. And what was it? It was right at, yeah, it was this curl here. I did buy a little bit more as it continued on past the halt here, a little bit lower and lower. And then I had a decent price to where I was actually down. Let me see if I can pull up the amounts for you guys. I know a lot of you like to see where I got in and out. See if I can. Yeah, right in here. This is where I had to be averaging in. So nope, that wasn't it. Let's see. $9.94, $9.21. Where did I sell UPC? Okay, this is where I sold. I sold at $8.18. So I waited for the next curl up, and that was right in here. So I actually got just a bit of a correction is what I was looking for. And I wasn't thinking that this thing would just continue back up. So I just, so I sold where I could, and I got a little swing up. It wasn't much, but 8.18 was where I got out. Let me just back that up and see where I started accumulating at. So that was all prior to 8.18. Let's see. So I bought at, yeah, my lowest price was actually $7.62. So I did get a buy down in here. That's what really helped me out and recover from a bigger loss. So let me just go through these numbers. Sorry, guys, it takes just a second to pull some of these up. Okay, it looks like I bought at 11.14. Okay, that was my first position right there. 11.14, held that, went way down, and that was 300 shares. Then I bought again. I was just waiting for that to curl. We didn't get the curl, faded, and kept falling. We hit 994, or yeah, right before it went into the halt, and I bought in right there. Goes into a halt, then opens up, continues to go down, and then bought in, let's see, at 921. Okay, there I am, buying in again, right in there, and then one more time at 762, so much lower. So I got a really great price on that, and eventually we did get that curl up, and I sold everything at 8.18. So moral of the story is bad habit. And what I've kind of been tweaking on this strategy is that if I know these aren't working for me, and I don't get those immediate curl back up, then what I do is I'll wait, instead of just buying just a little bit lower, because I did buy in right before the halt, it wasn't as much shares. And then I thought to myself, well, I'll just wait. If it goes, super low, buy in there, and then eventually at some point we'll get a little bit of a curl. We might get a bigger curl, but we'll get at least a little something. And so that helped me out in a sense of just buying much lower, not just buying, you know, the next small dip down. It was waiting until the thing, you know, basically felt like it was just bottoming out, which was right in this area. You could tell there was a resistance right in here at 753. It didn't want to break that for 2 tries right in here. And that's where I felt okay to buy in. So that was 762. So anyways, yeah, this is a bad habit. It's not a good idea. And this is where I failed today. So I think my max loss when unrealized at one point was, I was down almost 1,800. I don't think it was quite 2,000, but I think it was about 1,800. And waiting for that curl and just selling right in there at 818, I was able to reduce some of the damage, but it brought me so low. So anyways, let's get to the point here. Sorry, I'm rambling on. That took me down to, even with my gains of being up almost 300 on the day, that took me down to negative 1277. So actually that loss might have been a little bit bigger, but anyways, that was my low point. And so from there, I realized I had to assess the situation, realize I pulled a big no-no, and thank God it wasn't massive size, because it was a big position, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't gonna wreck me completely. So I was a little cautious on the size, but still it was a bad habit, and it was, you know, just not a good move. And from there, I just took a step back and got back into action mode and started making just better and better trades, but low risk and a lot of scalping. So from there, I was able to go all the way down from 1,200 all the way up to negative 273. So that's where I'm sitting today. And all the rest of the trades were on, well, I moved over to HGEN. That one was really helping me out. Now this one was crap the rest of the day, but all in here, we had some nice moves that pushed up, and I was able to trade this a ton and step in with a little bit bigger size, which helped me dig out of my hole. So that worked out nicely. That HGEN really helped me kind of pull through there a little bit. And then I moved over to SEAC, SEAC, and had a ton of trades on this. Now this one, it was tricky because all day it just didn't move a whole bunch. It felt very stagnant. Now it did have, you know, it moved up a little bit here, market open. I wasn't really watching this too much, and then it faded, and I just wasn't really that interested. But once it started to curl up here and wanted to kind of retest the highs in here, that's where I wanted to start stepping in and making some more trades on this thing. And I'm glad I did, but it just felt like I would hold a position and the thing wouldn't move that much. And I guess it was just because it got so crowded. There was a lot of volume in there, a lot of people trading it, that it felt like it wouldn't really push through levels and make strong moves. It would just stick, you know, at a number, and, you know, just going up 1 or 2 cents felt like it would take forever to do. So I wasn't feeling that confident in it. But I started to get more trades in here all throughout this entire move. I noticed, hey, this is going to be big resistance in all this area here, in the 196 area, 195, and I traded accordingly on that. So I had a ton of trades in here, which helped out. And then towards the end of the day, I really felt just a ton of FOMO on this thing, because right at the end of the day, it was breaking the highs here at 199, and this was just the last 5 minutes of the day, and I made a couple trades on it, and then I hopped into it like a minute before the market was closing, and I had to close out that position. And I got in, I want to show you real quick. I got in at I think it was 210. Yeah, got in at 210 right before the market closed. And the market closed, and I was watching this thing for a second. Went up just a tad bit, then down, and then so I just decided, screw it, I'm just gonna sell this thing. I do not want this collapse on me and try to sell after hours, you know, for a huge loss on this. So I'll cut it with a little bit of profit. I sold at 213. And then, you know, the thing freaking rips, you know, pushes up to 224. I'm like, oh shit. Then it fades a little bit, but then it has this huge push all the way up to 233. And that's where I'm really feeling the FOMO. I'm like, should I hop back in? But guys, I want to be honest, I did not want to chase this thing. It looks like there is some news on it, and it's had such a nice ride up in after hours, but I don't like trading after hours. Things get a little bit more volatile, and it's sometimes harder to sell or get in and out, but looks like there's a lot of action going on here. So this thing, you know, it could open up tomorrow big, you know, who knows, $3, $4, $5, you know, if this thing continues to grow. Or here's another option, this thing could open up tomorrow at freaking, you know, 150. Don't know. So anyways, I just didn't want to pull a crazy FOMO and chase this thing, even though it looks like, you know, there was opportunity in it. I'm really happy with where I'm sitting today, being that I screwed up so bad earlier today on UPC. Just a huge mistake. Other than that, I would have been up, you know, a couple $100 today for sure. And UPC really got me all sideways. And, you know, while I was down 1,200, I'm proud of myself for being able to dig out of it and minimize the damage. So sitting down $273 for me today is not that bad. Before I wrap it up with you guys real quick, I'll show you the calendar here. Today is put on my third red day of the month. Not really happy with that, but hey, 18 green days, I like that number. I like 18 green days and only 3. That's not too shabby. I was really hoping to go solid green this week, finish up the month in a good spot. But hey, it's just the reality of it, and I will gladly take a small red day versus my nasty big ones anytime. So kind of happy with the progress, even though it's red. And I hope you guys got something out of my bad habits with UPC. Not necessarily a great strategy there, so I know there's probably quite a few of you out there that maybe kind of pulled the same idea, the whole falling knife bit. It's a bad habit, and like I said, a lot of these, you know, good amount of the time, stocks like these, sometimes they don't even recover and retest the highs. It happens every once in a while, but you can't just hope for it. You gotta trade where you're at, and instead of holding this thing all day long, I had to cut it. And so I'm proud that I cut it. I'm not proud that I made that nasty move and averaged down, and but the averaging down at the same time for me, you know, getting as low as I could helped a little bit there, minimize some damage. So I don't know. I just maybe need to step away from that. And if I'm going to do that, I don't know, maybe just a little bit smaller size would help out too, so that those losses aren't as big. But anyways, that's the moral of the story today. Bad habit, but I was able to dig out of it. Down 273 today. That means I'm up 5K for the month. And hey, I don't know, just as a goal, maybe try to shoot for $1,000 on the last 2 days of the month here. Try to get me up to 6K. That would be great. But you just got to trade the market you're in. We might not get those conditions for big green days tomorrow. Who knows? Just got to keep trading. So I'm going to leave it there for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Let me know how your day went today. I'd like to know what you traded. And if you're green or if you're red, let me know. Appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.